Welcome to our podcast session on Bitcoin's unbelievable surge into the top tier of assets.
Yeah,
We're going to dive into how it surpassed Amazon's market cap and what that means for finance.
right. It's pretty wild. Bitcoin hitting over $122,600 per coin and a market cap around $2.4 trillion, outpacing Amazon's $2.3 trillion, isn't it?
Absolutely. And it's not just a fluke.
Mm-hmm.
The climb was super rapid, a 13% jump in just 1 week, powered by record-breaking inflows into spot Bitcoin ETFs and institutional demand, really shifting the landscape.
Spot Bitcoin ETF inflows played a huge role, right? I mean, back-to-back days pulling in over $1 billion each, that's a game changer.
Exactly. It's like, uh, imagine a sudden flood of investments pouring in. It's like
Yep.
it's like water breaking a dam. And that helped push Bitcoin past the $120,000 mark, really triggering this domino effect.
And alongside that, we saw supportive crypto regulations in Washington, with laws like the Clarity Act and Genius Act emerging during this so-called crypto week, right?
Right you are. And it's interesting because those measures reduced the regulatory uncertainty that had been a barrier for institutional players for so long. It's like the government gave a nod to Bitcoin's legitimacy as part of regulated finance.
Yet, I have to wonder, do you think this regulatory clarity is truly enough? I mean, there's always a risk. What if policy changes again?
Well, you raise a good point, and I kind of agree that regulatory consistency is key. But from what we've seen, especially under the newly elected administration, there's been a pivot toward more crypto-friendly policies, which supports these institutional moves. It's a careful but positive balance.
Right. Yeah, that's a healthy skepticism. Speaking of institutional moves, it's fascinating how companies like Tesla and even medical device firms like Semler Scientific have jumped into Bitcoin, holding significant amounts.
Yes, indeed. Semler Scientific, for instance, transformed into a big Bitcoin treasury player that even bought thousands of coins.
Yeah, exactly.
This institutional footprint overall, 265 public and private companies holding around 853,000 BTC and ETFs holding roughly 1.4 million BTC, really underpins Bitcoin's current market strength.
That's impressive. And the broader view here is also about how Bitcoin is evolving in the asset universe, now correlating more with mainstream equities like the Nasdaq and S&P 500.
Absolutely. It's like Bitcoin is shedding its old image as a niche asset and behaving more like a tech stock with a crazy asymmetric upside. Its rolling correlation with equities just shot up to 0.87, meaning it now rides the risk asset wave.
So, essentially, Bitcoin has become a key player in diversified portfolios, almost like a long-term store of value and an inflation hedge, similar to gold but with digital flair.
Exactly, though it's a bit of a double-edged sword. While, on one hand, its scarcity with the 21 million coin cap is a massive benefit, it's also being judged against giants like Apple and Microsoft now. Its market cap evolution from zero in 2010 to trillions now is nothing short of transformative.
Speaking of those tech giants, do you reckon Bitcoin might soon rival Apple or Microsoft?
Actually, projections are really bullish. Some experts suggest that if Bitcoin can push its price to around $142,000, it might start challenging Apple's $3.1 trillion cap. And then, roughly at $167,000, it could even be in the running against Microsoft's $3.6 trillion valuation.
That's interesting, but I wonder if those forecasts might be too optimistic given the volatility, right? It's a huge assumption to bank on continuous ETF inflows and stable political support.
True, there's always that possibility. If ETF flows dry up, or if political winds shift, then Bitcoin could see sharp retracements.
Exactly.
But for now, the momentum seems strong, thanks to both investor appetite and the regulatory posture.
Indeed, it's a balancing act between market exuberance and the practical risks of policy changes and macro conditions like the dollar's weakness, right?
Exactly. There's a pretty interesting macro backdrop here. With a weakening dollar pushing people towards alternatives to centralized money, it's like people are seeking refuge in something more scarce and divisible, and Bitcoin fits that bill perfectly. So,
Yeah,
the
I
whole
see that.
asset is now not just a digital currency, but a critical piece of broader financial infrastructure.
Right on. And it's fascinating how quickly Bitcoin's market cap overtook even silver and Google. That really symbolizes a shift in what assets are valued most.
Exactly. Bitcoin has now cemented its place as one of the top 5 valuable assets globally. It's a symbol of legitimacy and
Uh-huh.
acceptance that was once unimaginable. This milestone is a game changer, flipping the narrative from fringe investment to mainstream strategic asset.
And it redefines finance as we know it, showing that even something as volatile as Bitcoin can have a profound, stabilizing effect on portfolio strategies.
Absolutely. And it's this dynamic interplay between innovation, regulation, and market demand that makes Bitcoin's journey so exciting. You know, it's like watching an underdog become a reigning champion, but then being challenged by even more established stars in the league.
Yeah, that's a cool analogy. Totally. The future of finance might be a lot of interplay between digital assets and traditional ones, and Bitcoin's ascension to the top 5 assets is just the beginning.
Indeed, it's a turning point, one that forces investors, regulators, and the broader financial system to rethink their strategies. It's a mix of raw market dynamics and deliberate
Yep,
policy moves. And honestly, it sets the stage for more dramatic developments ahead, don't you think?
definitely. And as long as the macro environment remains supportive and inflows continue, Bitcoin's upward trajectory could have far reaching implications for everything from asset management to monetary policy.
Right, it's a fascinating time to be watching the interplay of technology, finance, and regulation. And as Bitcoin keeps breaking records, we'll surely see more debates on how far this digital revolution can go.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for this engaging discussion. It really shows how Bitcoin isn't just a currency, it's reshaping the entire financial ecosystem.
Exactly. It's a transformative force in finance, and its impact will be felt for years to come. Until next time, keep watching the markets with the same curiosity and skepticism.
Yeah.